I got the blues. I got the blues. I cut off all my facial hair and shaved my head so I could work parking opening night at Nightmare Blues. That's it, folks. Hello? Let me get all back together now. I know I look weird. It's Mr. Zero of Mr. Zero's Terror Ride. It was an imperative for me. I was working on a video today. I took out my tent and I packed it up, and it's away in the corner now, all packed up and wrapped up. So I got plenty of room in here so I could film a video that I'm working on, and I want Mr. Zero to still have a beard and hair in this video. And when that video I finish making it and upload it, if any of you care to watch it, you'll see why, you know. I keep looking at myself and I'm like, I look like a drag queen or something, or I don't know. I look terrible. It's because I still have makeup on, Mr. Zero makeup on around my eyes, but... So tonight was dress rehearsal, I guess is what you could say, for Nightmare on 13th. And mandatory meeting. We all get in there, and I've been like kind of busy all day. I haven't had much time to go and do one thing I want to do because I got my check cashed today, so I wanted to head down to anywhere and pick up this movie. So I had to speed, and I went to Target right before the meeting and picked up The Lords of Salem. And yes, I have seen it. If you haven't seen it, see it before buying. I recommend that because it's kind of a divisive film. Some people will like it, some people won't. When I went and saw it in theaters, sorry, I'm cleaning my face here. When I went and saw it in theaters, there was probably like maybe 10 to 20 people in the house. 5 or 8 or so of them were teenagers that had they didn't like it. Then they made it, oh, this is dumb. I can't wait to get out of here. You know, they didn't like the movie. I liked it. I thought it was good, but you know, I knew what I was getting into. One thing, you know. There's a bit in this book about the Pickle Family Circus about how everyone that goes to a movie or watches TV, they think they're an expert on what they're watching just because it's, you know, some sort of thing with the instantaneous and all that. And it's not necessarily true all the time. Sometimes you're going to see something that you don't know much about, and you could research what you're about to watch, which is what I did. I knew that this movie had some ties to exploitation films and, you know, druggy, trippy films, and it is a very trippy experience to watch this film. Okay, that's aside. So I was able to head to the Target that's right next to Nightmare on 13th, and then rip! I was ripping through there, got over to Nightmare, went into it's the room that's called the Club. If you're a patron, you're going to go through the whole house, and at the very end you come into a room where they're selling candy bars and t-shirts and such. That's called the Club. That's what the people that work there refer that room to as the Club. And so we're all at the Club, and there's Banbury Cross Donuts, which are really good donuts, you know. We're just barely getting Dunkin' Donuts out here in Utah, you know what I'm saying? Not a lot of donut shops. This one's been around for a while, and it's like, oh my gosh, you know. So had some donuts, and then I get there. I'm having donuts, making a small conversation with everyone, and then we're told we're going into the Nightmare Theater. And for anyone that's watching this video who doesn't live in Utardia, who's not from Salt Lake City, I can. The Nightmare Theater is really, while you're standing in line, it's the very end of the line when you're going through the haunted house. It's right before you enter the main haunted house. They consider this part of the attraction, and basically it shows, it's kind of an introduction to what you're about to experience, and it's a little entertaining. It's always, it's a big thing every year. They bring the cast in and crew and everyone, and we watch the video, and then we go through the house with everything turned on. Well, this year they decided to have, and they've done it before with like a few actors in it, but they've had more actors in the house to act out parts, and they were pre-picked. And so before the movie, the Nightmare Theater show was even started, these people went up and got in costume and were supposed to disperse around the house to their spots. Well, I'm sitting there watching the show, and then all of a sudden, Mary, who is a costume mistress this year, she comes in and asked me if I wouldn't mind doing Chainsaw. I don't know if they didn't have anyone picked or what, who dropped the ball on this, or someone didn't show up that was going to do Chainsaw, or they decided not to do it. But so I got tapped on the shoulder to go and be the Chainsaw mutant for for the actors to see, as they go through. So I went, hurried up, got suited up, and I was lost. I'm like, I don't know how to get to my spot. And they're like, it's the very end. I'm like, I don't know how to get to it from here. So I had to get shown, and I got to do chainsaw. We've got new chainsaws this year, so I'm used to taking the chainsaw and using my full, to get it started, and pray while I'm doing that it does start. And instead, they're brand new chainsaws this year. They've got two new chainsaws, and yeah, it's just and so I don't know the proper strength, so I was having problems getting it started because I was told not to, which is what I'm used to. So, but I wasn't taking notes. Little did I know I was supposed to sit there and explain like pros and cons of the new situation that they have there, because they've changed the whole house around, and Chainsaw's in a different spot, and there's a different dynamic to it now, and uh different mask too. This mask is, I think, Jimmy, the cast director leader guy. Um, I think he made these masks himself, but don't quote me on that. But I think he did, and they look good. But when you put it on, it's like I've got a big head, so it's right against my face, and I couldn't breathe, and I'm like, so I had to make this face, stick my lips out to kind of push it off my face enough so I have enough room to breathe out of my nose or my mouth or whatever. And then if I really needed to breathe, I had to go like this, so that my mouth was actually lower than the mask so I could breathe. And so I had to tell them, you need to put air holes in this thing because I cannot breathe. And the room that Chainsaw is in has a heater in it because it's supposed to be like a furnace. And that makes it even more uncomfortable because the outfit is a pair of coveralls and the mask, and it's just hot. It's just super hot. I'm playing with my eyes because I still have like remnants of the sweat and stuff from wearing that mask, and plus my makeup, and it's like bugging. So it was all good. Got lost trying to put the chainsaw away, and then went upstairs, came downstairs, and was informed that I will be working the whole weekend. Okay, but I'll be doing parking opening night at Nightmare on 13th on Friday the 13th in the year 2013, the year I got my first tattoo, which is a 13, and tomorrow I should be getting my second tattoo, which will also be a 13 because of a special that's going on at another place, and I get to do arcing, which I'm great at. That's why I'm doing it. It's because I'm really good. This kind of gets me down because sometimes I feel like that's probably a big part of the reason why I'm there is because I'm good at parking, and I'm good at parking because I got punished the first day I got put on parking. I don't know if I was being punished when I got put on parking. I kind of feel like I got put on parking because of my age, but I get pulled aside. You're doing parking today, and so I was doing parking and I was angry about it, and I wasn't doing a good job, and so they said, "Hey, you get up to the front over there. You, you tell these cars to come in. You don't move from there till we tell you to." So I'm up there, and I've been up there ever since. They're like, "Oh, you do a great job, man. Man, you're so good at this." Like within like a couple of weeks, the owner is sitting there and like, this guy, you should see this guy do parking. He's phenomenal, and it's so that's kind of how I feel sometimes. Is that I'm just there to do parking, and then they humor me by putting me in the house as an actor, which isn't fair. I'm schizotypal, so sometimes I think that people are out to get me, or people just don't like me, and people are trying to do things to mess with me, and I could be completely wrong. I've been right before. It's happened, and that's terrible. That's worse. What's worse than feeling like people are out to get you and they're not is when you think they're out to get you and they are. I had a job where this happened. I'm like, I think they're out to get me. Then I quit, and then I found out they were out to get me. And I'm not, seriously, I'm not paranoid. They were trying to get me fired. Some of my coworkers found that out like my last day. And I'm like, well, I felt like people were giving me crap. I just don't know how to read people sometimes. Well, I'm sure it's probably not the case. I'm sure it's all fine. I'm just one of those ones that, oh, yeah, he's a great guy. Yeah, he does a good job in here, but he's great at parking. So, I should just take it at that. But that's why I'm wearing this is what I will be wearing tomorrow. This is my costume. That's my costume for tomorrow night, parking on the Friday the 13th day of September, at Nightmare on 13th, in 2013, a 13 tattoo. I'm not gonna cry. No, no. Oh well, but I am told I will be acting the day after opening night. So on the 14th, Saturday the 14th, I'll be acting, probably doing Chainsaw. I'm gonna bet. That's what I'll be doing. So, bet I'll be doing Chainsaw a lot this year, actually. Oh well, those are the breaks, huh? And communication. I can't find the stop recording button.